Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a Chrysler 300. I actually don't know the year of this thing. This thing looks like it's probably an 05-ish, maybe. And it's in with a check engine light. It was at another shop and it had a misfire, and they replaced a coil, an injector, spark plug, something along those lines. So, but it's got a check engine light on. He says it's still misfiring. I actually didn't feel the misfire when I pulled it in. So I got the scanner hooked up. I got my new Bluetooth scanner, my Launch 919, CRP 919. I got that hooked up, and I'm going to look to see what's actually going on with this thing. I'm learning this scanner now, so be patient with me. I made another video in regards to this, and the video didn't come out right, so is what it is. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to publish that video. I have another video where I'm using this on a Prius, and that car is on hold at the moment, so we'll just have to wait to see if that video goes through or not. So, but I got this hooked up, and it seems to be a pretty sophisticated scanner, in all honesty. It does a lot of things. It's based on an Android system, but it seems to do quite a bit. And like I said, I'm just learning it, so be patient with me. Now, I'm just going to go into the car, and I'm going to see what the actual codes are. Here we go. The car's got 242,000 miles on it. Here is the Bluetooth pod for this scanner, and here is the scanner. I have it hooked up. I didn't load up the car yet. So let's go into local diagnose, American, let's see, Chrysler, Dodge. So we're going to go Chrysler. Okay. Just see what's going on there. Not showing anything. All right, we're going to go to the 16-pin connector, and we're going to do an automatic search. And okay, hang on one second, guys. Okay, so here it pulled up that car there. Oh, it's a 2010. Okay, 3.5 liter. It's a 300 or a Magnum or a Charger, but it is a 300. Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to do a health report. I'm going to go to System Selection, PCM, and as you see, this is a touch screen. I want to go to Read Fault Code. Let's see. DTC information. Cylinder number 5 misfire. PO300. Bank 1, Bank 2, closed loop fueling not achieved. And cat efficiency to be expected with misfires. Alright, so PO305, we're going to address that first, I think. I want to look to see exactly what's going on there. Okay, you know what's kind of neat? It has, let's see, freeze frame you can't pick. It's not highlighted. But you can go to help. What is it? Cannot find a description of this DTC help. Okay, that's awesome. Code search. Alright, so here it brings you up to Google. I kind of thought it might. Which, hey, that's fine. And it'll bring you up to YouTube. That's where you found me. Alright, let's go back and search. Yes. Database. What's in database? I'm not sure. Like I said, I am learning this vehicle, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, workshop data. What's this? I have no idea. I guess this is something I can sign up for. I did not know this. Interesting. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay, this must be like an all data or something like that, workshop data. Okay, actually, that's pretty darn interesting. So I'm assuming that's a pay, you gotta pay to access this. Now, I already have all data that I pay for, so we'll have to see. But that's actually pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that and see what I need to do there. Alright, so, but for now, I'm going to go back. So we know we have a PO305. Freeze frame is not going to show anything, or is it? Let's see. Carb freeze frame. And does it tell you the code here? See, there's one of 7. And if you remember, there was 5 codes, so, but there's 7 freeze frame records too. But it doesn't, oh, freeze frame caused by, see that, okay, there you go. Freeze frame caused by DTC P0305. So here, it gives you actually pretty good, some information in case you're wondering, like, when did it happen or whatever. Engine load, engine RPM. Let's see. Spark advance, fuel trim. Alright, so there's a bunch of different information there. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to go and I'm going to watch misfire monitor, see if it's misfiring currently or active or anything like that, and then we're going to have to go from there. Alright, so I'm back to the home screen, which if I went back again, I'd be here where I could choose the module. So PCM, let it communicate all over again. Key is on. And OBD2 monitors, including misfire. And which cylinder is misfiring? Oh, hang on. Unfortunately, that window is stuck down on this car, so I can't roll it up. So let me see here. Let me go to 5. Does it show? No, it doesn't show a. I was just seeing if it showed a history. Let me start it up real quick. Well, you saw it misfired on startup. Now it's not doing anything. I could feel a little something. See, I'll ignore the other ones. The motor actually sounds reasonably smooth. My car had been sitting overnight. Alright. So you see what's there. Now the question is, do I chase that or not? Because I actually did speak to the customer. I wanted to know exactly what's going on because they were complaining of a misfire, or at least a story I got first. But I spoke to the customer, and it seems that it may not exactly be the misfire. Like they kind of jumbled back and forth. They were complaining about a hesitation also. So the other fueling codes, do I worry about those? So it's like, I don't know. I may take this thing for a ride, but the problem is, take it for a ride and I'm going to get it hot. So let me go talk with Rob. I think I might take this thing for a ride and see what happens. Okay, so cylinder number 5 is under the intake. So just speaking with the customer and finding out that what they did was they actually changed 1 coil, 1 plug on this, and actually 2 injectors because they were leaking. But it was cylinder 6, which is the opposite bank. 6 and 4. I'm sorry, 2 and 4 injectors were replaced, but number 6, plug and coil were changed. So what I got the permission to put 3 plugs, 3 coils in this thing for the opposite side. Now we're going to pop the intake off. And here you see. What I did was I already took the bolts off. I already undid the connectors. I'm going to take the hose off here. I got the vacuum hoses off on the back. So I just want to get all of this stuff, kind of out of the way so it's not in my way. Then the intake should lift up and out. In the back here, that's for the EGR. So you kind of have to angle the intake to pull it off. That's the reason I pulled these bolts up. One of them came right out, but I pulled them up and just threaded them into the top plastic. They're kind of retained. And also you have these brackets here that support this end of the intake, so you kind of got to pop it out of there. With the intake up and clear and out of the way, if you look, got a brand new intake gasket on it, but if you look, that back there, that's the tranny tube where they're supposed to have a dipstick. They don't have a dipstick on these. They have a cap right there that I took out. you kind of have to manipulate this thing to get it up and out. I'm not going to bother doing that. All I'm going to do at this point is unbolt the coils and pull the coils out. It's just a 10 millimeter, and then you have the connectors. Okay, so with the coils out, here is number 5. I don't see any burn marks or anything on it. Everything looks okay. But I see that. That's usually an issue after some age. The plug itself, turn the light on. The plug itself, it looks pretty well wiped out. So I'm hoping just a set of plugs in it is going to straighten this out. I mean, it feels just like an ignition misfire, so we're about to find out. So I'm just waiting for parts to show up, and then I'm going to go ahead and start switching stuff. Now, when you're going to go and gap some new spark plugs, or check the gap, like I've said before, don't gap your plugs. You really shouldn't have to. If for some reason you do have to gap them, don't use the gapper to do so, like that. Like a lot of people will use a gapper like this to open the gap up. Don't do that. Use that open end there to grab the edge and pull up slightly, or tap it down or whatever. But if you got to open it up, just do that. Don't use that sliding scale there to open it up, because that's what we used to do in the old days with the old copper type plugs and the old standard style spark plugs. If you do it on the plugs of today, you can actually ruin the spark plug and create a misfire. So just don't do that. So we're going to put a set of plugs in this thing, and then we're going to put the new coils in it. We're only going to put it in 5 because that one in the back there is new already. That one there. So we're going to go that route, and then we're going to put this back together, and let's see how it runs. Okay, so that's all together. On these, when you're going back together, make sure that that pipe in the back for the EGR, make sure that that tucks in correctly. I actually did put the intake on and realized that I did not have that thing sitting correctly, so I had to take it all back apart. And when you do so, make sure you didn't tear the seal that's in there. There's a little rubber seal that sits in there. It's not an O-ring either. It's kind of like a beveled shape O-ring. So, all right, so that's all together. All my connectors are on. All my vacuum hoses are on. So, got my supports back in place. All right, let's take it for a road test and see how she is. All right, so I'm in the car. It's running. It sounds excellent. Sounds much better than it did before. I don't feel any misfire right now. Nothing, and I did feel it before. So I'm going to take it for a road test. That window's stuck down, so I'm not going to obviously video while I'm driving. He actually does want us to fix that window too, so that's going to be a different video. So let me take this thing for a ride. You're not going to be able to hear me because the window's stuck down. All right, let me go for a ride. Yeah, I'm actually halfway through the road test, and the thing's running perfectly fine. It's pretty amazing considering the mileage on this car, and it doesn't look like it was very well maintained, to be totally honest with you. But yeah, so I should be back at the shop shortly. I'm just sitting at the traffic light. All right, let's get this over with, I should say. Okay, so I just got done with the road test, and it runs great. It really does. It runs fine. No misfires, no nothing. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was a bad coil, but the plugs were shot. Oh, that's the other thing. Let me show you 2 of the plugs I pulled out of this thing. I'm sorry, I meant 1 plug, but this is how I pulled it out. And this is on the side where the other shop replaced the coil and 1 plug, and they replaced 2 injectors. Why would you not bother pulling out plugs and taking a look at them? I don't know. I don't get it. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. As you can see, lights are off. We're actually closed now, so day's done. All right. So hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.